Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for your tweets. Craig Burley with us here in the studio. Don Hutchinson in his Leicester City bedroom. Shaka Hislop joins us as well. Thank you for everyone who's asked about Stevie. His operation went well. We've seen pictures. You don't want to see the pictures.
So he's got his cast on.
He had to have his shoulder reattached to some muscles, I think.
He had some work
fell over the dog.
Some work on his rotator cuff done.
Oh, there you go.
So he's got this cast on for how long?
4 to 6 weeks.
Right, and it's not it's a stiff cast, yeah? Is he going to come to work with it?
I don't think. He said he was only going to be on the show when he could get dressed.
We couldn't get dressed anyway. I've already had the rotator cuff problem.
That's a good excuse, isn't it? OK, lots of questions to get through. Shaka, you've always been criticising Neymar unfairly. Isn't it time for you to at least recognise his wonderful start to the season? And do you think he'll be able to lead Brazil to glory in the World Cup?
OK, well done and a very good start to the season, Neymar. No, I have Argentina winning it, so the answer to the second part of that question is no.
What is it about Neymar that you dislike so much, Shaka?
I just feel for as talented a player as he is, he can give so much more. I think I've always been critical ever since I moved from Barcelona to PSG, so he could put himself in a better position to win the Ballon d'Or. That made no sense to me, and I just think that he hasn't delivered on what is an exceptional talent.
That'll be on the next documentary of Neymar.
At least he goes in the team photo.
That quote right there. What is the percentage for Chelsea with the new manager to be in the top 4, Don?
I've got a funny feeling, Dan.
Yes.
I've got a funny feeling that Graham Potter, and not because it's Graham Potter, he's going to struggle at Chelsea. I'm not sold on that dressing room. I don't feel it's a good dressing room, all the way back to Frank Lampard when he's managing some of the individuals. I would like to see how some of these players and individuals perform for Graham Potter. I hope they do, because he's a fantastic manager. Getting him in the top 4, getting them in the top 4, he can certainly do it, of course he can. But I think it's going to be tight. I think I'd give them a 30% chance.
30%.
He's been talking to Frank again.
Yes, yeah, they'd like someone to chat to Frank, and he's talking to Don now that Everton won a game. Will you go 30%?
All right, I'll go 40.
40?
Might live a little.
There you are. Good. A lot of thought into that. Question for Shaka. Isn't goal saving as vital as goal scoring? If yes, then why are no goalkeepers ever in the GOAT debate when we talk about Messi and Ronaldo? Do you think this is unfair, taking into account that football is a team game where each position is vital for success?
Oh, very serious.
Sounds like I wrote that question.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, as a fully paid member of the Goalkeepers Union, that's the drum I've been banging on ever since I walked through doors at ESPN. Listen, truthfully, I think goal scoring is a far more valuable talent. Good goal scorers are harder to come by. So you understand why there's that focus. But absolutely, if you're talking about the greatest players of all time, I think the kind of just wanton dismissal of goalkeepers or players away from the forward line is wrong.
I was banging on about that as well on Monday.
That's right.
All the credit. Yeah, don't you take all the credit. Kasper Schmeichel, not the greatest goalkeeper, just saying how big a player he was for Leicester. Bang, bang, bang. But you can't have goalies in there. big stupid goalies diving about with gloves on.
Who is your greatest goalie of all time, Shang?
Buffon.
There we go.
Dino's off. What?
Give me a Neymar. Give me a Neymar over a Xhaka any day of the week.
People just like goals, don't they? Apart from me, that is.
Don. Yes.
Well, I don't like highlights.
No,
goals.
you don't like highlights.
I'd like
to
see them live.
OK, Don, what's one thing you enjoyed as a professional footballer that you miss the most, apart from your paycheck?
Do you know what, Dan? Honestly, going in every single morning, especially when I was at Sheffield United and when I was with Everton under Howard Kendall, it was just incredible on the way into training. I used to pick Gareth Taylor up when I was at Sheffield United on the way to training, And we used to giggle all the way to training, thinking, what's going to happen today under Howard? Like, what's going to happen to make us laugh today? What's going to be a memory that we'll take to the grave when Howard was the manager? And it's going into that dressing room, seeing all your mates in the dressing room. Some are high because they're having a great day or a great cup, some are low. The banter's always flying. If the manager hates an individual, then he'll be getting ribbed. If a player wants to leave, he'll be closest to the door, the exit door. He used to put his kit next to the exit door. Just the shenanigans that went on in terms of the pranks that used to go on were just like being at school. It was just brilliant. It was just amazing.
Shenanigans is a great
One thing you
word.
enjoy, I would say the buffet at the Marine Highland Hotel in Troon on duty with Scotland.
Oh, really?
Don, you remember that buffet?
Yeah, I remember the nightclub
What sort of
across the
things
way
were-
as well,
was on-
Craig.
What sort of things were they
Don?
serving up?
I remember the nightclub across the way.
Oh,
Remember the nightclub?
No, don't get in. I don't know.
I don't go to nightclubs.
I'll tell you what, though, the buffet at the Marine Highland, there's no nightclub across the road from the Marine Highland. There's
No,
not.
from Cameron House. There's a
Oh, that's
hotel on the
different.
ground.
The buffet at the
nightclub
Marine
on the
Highlands.
grounds.
Ooh, in the old days playing for Scotland. Brownie had a team meeting about a World Cup qualifier and started the meeting off. I think we were playing Croatia, and he started the team meeting off by lambasting the majority of us for the portions.
Well, tell us, what was so special about this buffet?
These prawns are just marvellous.
Just prawns?
Marvellous.
That's a lot.
No, it's just like, it was a full homemade Scottish soup, and then there was a full buffet that you could go, and then there was all the cakes.
Oh.
Marvellous.
Oh, beautiful.
But to go back to that briefly, the dressing room,
The dressing room, the banner, that's
marvellous. Chelsea and
Celtic must have been good as well.
Oh, Chelsea and Celtic. I never thought I would leave a better dressing room than I had at Chelsea with those lads, because I'd been there 10 years.
Yeah, we did have Frank in it though.
Yeah, well, actually, what happened at the old training ground at Chelsea, which was owned by the university out by Heathrow, they had small changing rooms, so there was groups of, say, 6. So, for example, the booth, I don't think was in my changing room, but he probably was next door.
Well, you're in like the family changing rooms
They were only
together.
small, yeah. So I was in with Mark Hughes and Dan Petrescu, then Vialli, and they were in others. And so yeah, it was slightly split. But at Celtic, no. Big dressing room at Celtic Park.
Yeah.
Unbelievable bunch of guys.
Fantastic.
So just
very good.
Walking in the morning was brilliant.
What about you, Shaq?
Yeah, listen, I'm with everybody on this. The only thing I missed from playing was the dressing rooms. You know, when I retired, people would always ask me, do you miss playing? And the answer was always no. I don't really miss playing. I do miss the dressing rooms, though. Those were special.
I'll tell you what, though, we stayed at one story. We stayed in a hotel in Aberdeen before an international game, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I am, actually.
Okay.
My old schoolmate and Chelsea mate, Billy Dodds, who went back to Scotland to play and then get into the national. Don knows Dodds, he played with him in the same team. We decided, Doddsy and I, up in Aberdeen at the hotel, that we were going to sneak out for a couple of beers.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So Doddsy was from...
What's a surprise?
Doddsy was playing for Aberdeen at the time, had a house up there. So he had his car. So we went out, but unbeknown to us, somehow Doddsy's car had a flat battery. And we snuck out the back of the hotel in the dark of night, but we could see the staff sitting by the reception window.
Okay.
And every time Doddsy turned the ignition in the car, the interior light came on. So I'm saying, Doddsy, it's going, one start. I went, freaking light, everybody can see us. So I've got my hands over the light. I've actually got this thing started. Bosh, we go into Aberdeen. Nobody will see us. Had a couple of beers, walked into a nightclub or late bar, and there was about 15 of the Scottish tabloid journalists, sports writers.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So I don't think it ever got back. But when we went to training the next day, because the game wasn't the next day, it was a few days.
Oh, yeah, it's professionals, of course.
It was Faroe Islands.
Okay.
It wasn't a big drama.
Right.
Although we just beat them 2-1. We went into training next day and we're doing the little warm-up, and I was going, Doddsy, he knows. You know when you're paranoid?
Yes.
He's like, come on, Butley and Dodds, come on. You two, get your finger out. I went, he knows somebody's ratted on us. But honestly, that freaking light.
God. Imagine if there were camera phones back in your day.
Oh, it would have been absolutely. We would have been absolutely pumped.
For Shaka, if VAR was in use for the 2006 World Cup, would Peter Crouch's goal have stood? And do you think Trinidad and Tobago could have made it out of the group?
Frank Lampard's goal?
It was Peter Crouch who was pulling, wasn't he?
That was right, yeah.
Yeah. Peter Crouch was pulling on the hair, wasn't
Brent
he?
Sancho.
Yes.
Shaq brings it up a lot.
Yeah, he does bring it up a lot.
But no question, it should have been disallowed. And that was in the 83rd minute. I think we could have held out. The question then comes down to, and I'm trying to remember the other results. England beat Paraguay. I can't remember what Sweden did against Paraguay.
Wait, Shaq, was it only one goal? I thought it was 2 goals.
Yeah, but that come in injury time when we were pressing, looking for a winner.
Oh, I see. And who scored that goal again,
Shaq? 91st minute. Huh?
Who scored that goal?
Guy, I can't remember his name. Played for Liverpool for a bit. He had an appearance or 2 for Liverpool, if memory serves me right.
I thought you were talking about the Lampard goal against Germany.
No.
But that was crazy, wasn't it?
Yes, that was crazy. I think that was kind of gave everyone the kick up the backside to get it all sorted.
That was crazy.
There we go.
Those nights out with Scotland games, it didn't happen all the time, you know. Just in case anybody gets the wrong idea.
Cheryl, it didn't happen all the time.
No, actually, I'm not worried about that.
For Don, how long did it take you to be comfortable driving on the right... Oh, well, you don't live here, so that doesn't count. Craig, how long did it take you to be comfortable driving on the right side of the road? Coming from the UK.
Well, I'd done it before on holiday, but I do remember stepping out of the hotel near where I live.
Yes.
And there was a police car, we were doing some roadworks and there was a police car and I went up the wrong side of the road.
Did you?
Only for 100 yards.
Right, okay.
I actually have more trouble going back. Do you have this?
Yeah.
I have more trouble now because it's been here all the time.
And I drive manual when I go back as well.
Yeah.
So you kind of stalling at roundabouts and things when you forget. And there's average speed cameras and everything's smaller in England. Here you have
roundabouts. You pull up to the roundabout in the UK and you go, geez, what way do we go?
Which way do we go?
Where are we given? We're given from the right or whatever. But so.
Shaq, what side of the road do they drive on in Trinidad and Tobago?
Same as England.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like second.
And do you know when Don was here for the Euros? Who drove him everywhere?
You.
Me.
You wouldn't want him driving.
No, you wouldn't trust Don driving.
I'll tell you what, Dan, I've done it once. I went to Huntington Beach in California donkeys years ago, and I tried to drive to Vegas for a wedding. And correct me if I'm wrong, my knowledge of America is poor, especially driving. I don't know, 4 or 5 hours.
From where?
Something like
Vegas, Los Angeles.
California to Vegas.
Yeah.
It took something like 11 hours. There was a forest fire and I couldn't move. It took 11 hours. Stuck.
Yeah.
So why does that stop you driving when you come here?
Well, no, because this was a long time ago. This was 20 years ago. My little boy, well, Max, who's 21, was the baby at the time. So I tried it, and a 5-hour journey took 11 hours, and I thought I'd be cute and do like a little detour, and I seen Compton, and I was like, that's not the place. I don't think I need to be driving through Compton.
Yeah.
Breaking news, Don. America's a big country.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you for a ferry ticket back to the island, though, did they?
This is a very random question. Did the panel encounter interesting experiences in zoos, theme parks, or safari parks?
Well, everyone's had a monkey on the car, and everyone's had a little...
I've been told to go to you, Shaka.
That could only be around the 2010 World Cup, South Africa, when I was there with Tommy Smith. And
Look at that.
How did we get to this?
My God.
Goodness me. Yeah.
Love it, Shaq.
Oh.
Well, you see me. I'm a regular Dr. Doolittle. I am.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody knows that.
Oh.
Good grief.
How did we get here?
Rip your hand off.
Where's this? South Africa?
This is South Africa, 2010.
I didn't see you down there, Shaq.
No, it's about Craig tell us that he'd commentate the World Cup final.
No, I wasn't going to tell you that.
That's all that happens when we talk about South
No, I'm going to say we also, as part of the ITV team, we also stayed at a place, I can't remember whereabouts in South Africa it was called Hippo Hollow.
Right, and what was there?
Exactly. Hippos. But they were mooching around at night.
What do you mean?
It wasn't a hotel.
What do you mean
it was
mooching around at night?
It was.
were you trying to? You and Billy Dodd trying to get to wherever you were going?
Hovering around on the phones, you know.
There's a hippo dragging.
Just never get to that pub. How are we going to get to that pub in Aberdeen with all these freaking hippos? No, we were like it was like little huts.
You were in a hut.
The rooms were little huts.
Okay.
It was like a little bit weird, and we'd been at the bar with Champion.
Okay.
Champion and I, John, had been at the bar.
Yes.
And we were accosted by Chilean fans because we were doing their game the next day.
Okay.
So we started drinking with them just to be sociable.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And John was
Research.
going to his room, and I called up John and says, "Get back down here, they've got some info for us." And John, being John, came running back down with his clipboard.
Right.
Asking what the team was going to be and all that. I mean, it was all wrong. Anyway, I got a bit tipsy on the red wine, left my phone somewhere, woke up in the middle of the night. Knowing you have that experience, you wake up and you go, "Where's my phone?"
Okay.
You've had that, haven't you?
No,
yes,
never.
You wake up, you go,
right.
"Where's my phone? What'd I do?" And I too much to drink. So I decided to go out in the middle of the night and go back down to reception. Mm-hmm. Almost cost me. There was a few of these large animals reaching around.
Right.
Craig, how you doing?
Wow.
Where are you going? I'm going to get my phone.
Wow.
Yeah. They were just wandering around.
Okay.
Oh. Dangerous.
Wow. There's a hippo encounter.
Go down into the water.
Yeah. Oh, no. What about you, Don, and animals?
Listen, everyone's had the monkey on the car, haven't they, when they've ripped the windscreen wipers off and, done their little business on the windscreen.
Done little business.
You go in safari? I didn't get a chance to go in safari. Did you go? Oh, you did go in safari. Did you go in a proper safari, Chuck, when you get in the car, the Jeep, and you go down and see the lions and that? No?
See, I'd love to do that.
We did that. We went to see some lions for a bit, but it wasn't. It was just. It wasn't like a proper safari where you're driving all over. We did a few encounters like that.
Oh, a bit scary. My wife did it with friends years later.
Right.
Oh,
I'd love to do it, man.
Down
It'd be
into
brilliant.
Shamwari.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever go Shamwari?
Shamwari's the place to go.
So,
if you're wondering, by the way, you can check out Shaka's goat story. If we're talking about animals encounters, I'm sure an extra time in the past where Shaka literally had a fight with a real-life goat.
Yes, I did. I went back to visit the scene of that crime when I was in England this summer.
Did you?
Wait, how come he gets all the trips?
Sorry?
How come he gets all the trips? He was in South Africa, right? Doing whatever.
Right, we saw what he was doing.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
And now he's going to go. He's going to the Middle East.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll be. They seek him here. They seek him. He'll be in hiding over there, won't he?
Okay.
How come he gets all? How come he?
We know Shaka.
His lot gets
big
all the
political
trips.
player, and he's always smoothing with the bosses. Anything Shaka. He's always busy.
Hey, you weren't there. They did the FC show from over in South Africa.
Yeah, I wasn't working for.
I did it, so I was working in that show before you were
I
here.
wasn't working for ESPN at that stage.
Ray Stubbs did it.
Well, proper presenter.
And
Went from Ray Stubbs to
actually,
me.
the guy who's producing today was over there.
Was he?
I believe.
Is that when he just stalked John Barnes for the whole trip?
I believe so.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And we had this beautiful Nelson Mandela Square.
Oh, beautiful.
They wrote me on to do the show one day. I got paid, obviously.
Okay, good. Well pleased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulled the plug.
No, I wasn't working then. Hey, what did you do for the World Cup in 2010, Don, as we're in this conversation?
I can't remember that far back, Daniel. I had too many games of football in my brain. I can remember going to South Africa, though, and doing a safari with Liverpool back in '92, meeting Nelson Mandela. And we were on the back of like this, how do you explain it? Like an open-top bus going through the safari. Literally lions, tigers, everything. And we had, I think, a gunman at the back, a gunman at the front, gunman either side, because when you're in an open-top bus, it's like, man, it's too open. Like, really scary.
Too open, this bus.
Yeah, too open.
It's a bit of a giveaway, though, when you get on the bus. No.
Did Don just say that he can't remember 2010 because he watched too much football? But give us a story from 1992.
Yeah, but like that England game there, when you said the England game 2006, Peter Crouch, I was thinking, I don't remember that, man. That's years ago. That's
Yes,
too
but you
much
remember what you were
knowledge.
doing for a World Cup, surely, not just for one match, Don.
Yeah.
Well, so what were you doing?
I was in Dubai.
Well, what were you doing there?
Well, just seeing a couple of pals of mine watching the World Cup.
Oh, very nice.
Never forgive Robbie Earle for that World Cup.
Robbie Earle? Why are you blaming Robbie Earle for it?
Not going into the story.
Okay.
He made me have to do a game that I wasn't supposed to do, and I wasn't in a fit state to do it.
Oh.
I was supposed to do it.
There's a theme to this whole extra time, Greg.
No, we were in Durban or wherever.
Yes, right.
No, wrong. We were somewhere, Nels Pruitt or Polokwane, and we were driving back to Joburg, and we had a couple of days off.
Yeah.
And John and I had already done a game, and we'd had we went out for a meal after the game.
Right.
As we always did, and we got tanked into the red wine.
Oh, God, right, I'm bored of this story. Right, final question.
And on the way back in the car, I'm lying in the back.
Right, for the merry men.
Aye, all right.
What Stevie-isms will you miss while he's getting a bionic shoulder installed?
He won't be doing this for a while.
No, he won't be. No, definitely not. When he gets angry at me.
Starts up.
I know. And his Arsenal love. What will you miss from Stevie, Shagger?
He's seriously not coming in.
Well, I'm not. He can't.
Why?
How's he going to come in?
Why not?
How's he going to drive?
Somebody will drive him.
Someone will drive him.
Dan could drive him. Dan drives everybody.
Oh, yeah, I drive everyone when they're here. Drive Don around, Frank around, Del Piero, anyone. Here we are. There we are, the whole lot.
At least we can watch Liverpool games without subjecting ourselves
To
to
be
bodily
fair,
harm.
he's got 4 weeks to have a good think about that big hole he dug himself
With the Arsenal.
when he said they haven't got any better. You know, and he can fill that hole in a little bit
Yeah.
and have a look at himself.
That's it. That's all right. Late for you, Don, now. Midnight, isn't it?
Yeah, just gone past midnight.
Well, that's it.
How
Lie
long to
down
get
on your
home?
bed there and you'll be good. That is it. We are done. We will be back tomorrow. France are playing tomorrow. Jules will be here to reflect on that. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.